Nearly 4 years ago, as his company was more or less inactive, Royal Caribbean CEO Michael Bailey conceived of a fascinating idea. What if, and hear me out on this one, we take a bunch of people, throw them on a boat for like 9 months, and then just keep them there? That would be pretty cool, right? His colleagues were skeptical. Royal Caribbean was mainly known for operating shorter cruises around 2 weeks long, but Bailey, he had a vision. He believed that this had a real chance of revitalizing the company in a post-lockdown world. And since they would be announcing the cruise during lockdown, it would appeal to others, fantasizing about a world with no travel restrictions. While today, going on a cruise ship for 9 months does seem pretty claustrophobic, back then, it would be anything but. When the cruise actually happened, landlubbers became fascinated by this idea. 9 months on a cruise ship. That's how long it takes to make a baby, to have a baby be created. And so TikToks were made, YouTube videos were made, and so as public interest grew, our cast of sailors started filming themselves more and more.
Do you want the true drama of the 9-month cruise?
You ready for fist fights? I'm wanting a fist fight.
You cut us, I'll cut you, but with like a knife.
And their captain has said that this is only a small taste of what it's going to be like over the next few weeks.
Creating a sort of self-documented reality show, which gave me a pretty interesting idea. So, for the 9-month duration of the cruise, my researcher Maya and I, this is her details if you want to hire her for your own projects, have followed every single little thing that happened on that ship for the 9-month duration of the cruise and after that. Look at this Excel sheet. It's crazy, it's insane. Every character development, all the communities that were formed on it, every drop of juicy drama. Were these people gonna hate each other at the end of this thing? That's what everyone was predicting. Everyone was like, they're all gonna hate each other at the end of this. Did that happen? Well, today, we're going to go over all of that, all presented and edited for you as it should be. A reality show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 9-month cruise.
For 9 months we sailed, we loved and we suffered. The poor and the pinnacles, one and the same. The grog in our veins was flowing aplenty, for we are the babies of this pregnancy.
The cruise ship, called the Serenade of the Seas, left Miami on the 10th of December, 2023. The plan was to visit over 150 destinations. That's so many destinations. To visit 11 world wonders, 7 continents, and over 60 countries. That is incredible. And it would famously go on for 9 months, pretty much. This is very important information for the culture that later on developed on the cruise. There would be 4 different segments of the trip, 16 different sailings, so you could be on one of those, join for like 1/16 of a cruise instead of 9 months. And you can also go on the ship for the whole duration, the whole 9 months, as long as a baby. The prices start from $60,000 a person to $117,000 per person for the full world cruise, depending on what sort of room you're getting, pretty much. The cheapest rooms were the interior staterooms, which have no windows, and the suites, they have like dining tables and living rooms and stuff like that. If you booked the full 9-month shebang, it would include a business class ticket to Miami. So that's pretty cool. Business class, living in luxury. Better get me a business class ticket for $100,000. And importantly, the cruise also included unlimited drinks for 9 months. Unlimited drinks for 9 months. Do you know how dangerous that is? Unlimited, I'm not even an alcoholic or anything. If I was on a cruise ship for 9 months and I had unlimited drinks, I'd be an alcoholic so quickly. Now, before we set sail, I think it's important that we get to know our cast of characters here. There is Dr. Jenny, who's traveling with her husband, has a research career, and does handstands around the world. Amazing. There's Angie, Brandy and Shannon, 2 sisters traveling together. We got Brooklyn, Madison, also sisters traveling with their parents. We got Amike from South Africa. Her mom was a real housewife. Like from the show, a reality show descendant. Little Rat Brain, we're gonna see a lot of videos from Little Rat Brain. Nadine from Auckland, New Zealand, on board for the Ultimate Americas segment. She's only there for a segment. She's a segmenter. That's another term you're gonna learn later on. Be patient with me, please. Joe and Audrey from Florida. They began making videos just to show their kids back home. Their first video that I've seen is hilarious.
Hey kids, remember the time you thought you had inheritance? Well, here we are. Your mom and I are sitting there spinning it as we sail around the world on the Royal Caribbean Ultimate World Cruise. We spin it all in our room and excursions.
We got Anthony, who's on this trip solo. We're gonna see a bunch of him as well. We got Adita. We're gonna see a whole lot of Adita. And Frugal Vagabond, they're pretty important because they film all the town hall meetings. Yes, they have a town hall on this cruise ship.
The Royal Caribbean Ultimate World Cruise is nothing less than an epic, once-in-a-lifetime adventure. The day before embarkation, Royal Caribbean is providing a hotel for passengers and hosting a pre-cruise gala the night before. It also includes premium transfers between airport, hotel, and the ship. Once we are on board, all passengers have the deluxe beverage package for the entire voyage.
On December 11th, Lil Rat Brain gave us a tour of her interior cabin. No windows for 9 months.
Hello MTV and welcome to my crib. Come on in. Created some of these custom mules, so just to brighten everything up. And you know we have this luxurious extra large sofa, that way everyone can come visit us.
Incredible. The cruise began and our little gang of sailors started enjoying themselves with a little a cappella performance on December 12th. Later in December, some people start noticing the videos that the people on the cruise are making.
My question for the people going on the 9-month cruise is, have you ever been on a cruise? Because for me, 9 days is, thank you, that was enough.
And are beginning to wonder, how exactly are they gonna cope on this thing for 9 months?
When the food supply ran out, I was given just a piece of bread and a piece of cheese.
As we get deeper into the month, hype starts bubbling.
This is giving me stuff to obsess over for 9 months.
Oh my god, no. I'm going to spend the next 9 months of my life following each and every person who's on that Royal Caribbean Ultimate World Cruise.
Are you ready to hear about World Cruise drama?
Okay, so it may have taken me a few days, but I feel like I've sorted out the cast for you for our soap opera on the seas.
9 months on a cruise ship.
You can have a baby in the end.
You could, they might.
And even a bingo game is made for this cruise.
I made an Ultimate World Cruise bingo card for anyone else who is buckling in for this 9 months TikTok reality show and wants to have a little fun.
On this board, we see some really interesting predictions: mass neurovirus, mass STIs, pirate takeover. That's pretty good. These internet people are too creative. They're just too creative nowadays. COVID outbreak, cliques formed, podcast following the trip, brand sponsor passengers. That's a pretty good one. A wedding, cruise ship 15 pounds. I think people gaining that amount of pounds is the prediction here. Someone goes home early, which makes sense, 9 months on a cruise ship. Someone falls off the boat. Oh, I sure hope not. Seeing this thing early on was fascinating to me. What's going to happen on this cruise ship? 9 months. It's a very long time to be on sea. So throughout this video, as we're covering the saga, we'll be going back to this a lot. Our incredible researcher, Mai Catherine, has really scoured all these videos and found that really throughout this entire cruise experience, you could separate our brave sailors into 5 different groups. We got the 9-monthers, or the world cruisers, the people who are on the boat for the full thing. The segmenters, the people who are on one of the 4 segments of the cruise. The mini segmenters, the people who are on the shorter sort of time period. And I'm sitting down now. I stood up and I was out of frame and it felt stupid. Now the Pinnacles, there's some drama coming up with these guys. The Pinnacles are basically people who have spent enough time or money with the Royal Caribbean to earn enough loyalty points to get this sort of incredible honor. They go around the cruise ship wearing a golden badge that lets everyone know that they're They're the best. And pits, that's a horrible name, but those are people who are pinnacles in training, meaning people who are trying to reach this incredible, honorable position of being a pinnacle. Now, this sort of like division into groups was something that understandably not a lot of people were happy with from the get-go.
There's this event going on at the moment for high status members where they're having like, some champagne party. Cool, that's great. But I personally don't like getting excluded from information. I'm here to see wonders of the world. I missed out on a talk the other day about the Northern and Southern Lights because I'm not part of the Facebook group.
It's clear that Nadine feels quite looked down upon because she's a segmenter and not a 9-month cruiser. So I guess if we had to tier those, it would be Pinnacle, then 9-monther, then segmenter. Pits are sort of like a weird thing, unrelated, and then mini segmenters, bottom of the barrel. According to CT, as stated on the screen, like the word C and then the word T, according to her sources, there was a man having dinner with other cruises, and they asked him if he was on the cruise for the whole 9-month thing, and then when he said no, they just were like, get out.
Not only did they say he wasn't allowed to join the Facebook page, they told the passenger not to sit with them anymore. They invited somebody else to take his spots.
Get out of here, scram. This is like high school, which I think pretty comfortably lets us tick off this bit. Clicks formed. I think those are clicks. I think that's justified. Same month, 2 days before the last one, the influencers start making friends with each other. We don't mean the influencers that were already influencers and then got on the cruise. These are people who on the cruise started filming themselves and started getting outside traction pretty quickly.
Hey guys, I'm Ami and I'm here with the Ultimate Real World Cruise. And this is your hosts for our game show.
Dr. Jenny Travels, Angie Linderman.
It's incredible seeing our sailors get along so well. On December 23rd, Nadine updates that her experience has changed as a segmenter from the first week.
Early on, I mentioned that Royal had dropped the ball a little bit, and I have to say things have changed a lot in the last couple of days.
That said, Royal Caribbean gave the world cruisers a jacket, the segmenters a poncho, like a worse jacket, pretty much, and the mini segmenters didn't get shit. Bottom of the barrel. These mini segmenters, bottom of the hierarchy, bottom of the food ladder chain. On December 21st, outside interest in the cruise begins to grow more and more. People keep finding new counts, and they start calling the people on the ship new characters.
Oh my god, we've unlocked a new character, and he is a crew member. He is actually working on the ship as a performer.
Maybe, just maybe, the fact that there was this sort of demand from outside the ship is what created some of the dramas that we're gonna see later on. Am I changing how I'm looking from the two cameras too much? Is this too many turns? I'm not used to having two cameras, and I'm not gonna have two cameras after this video. I just thought that that's what they do on a reality show. So I put two cameras. As we were engulfed with the stories from our cruisers, people at home couldn't help but wonder, what about the crew members?
Well, let me show you.
We all use our phones, except him.
My researcher she wrote this in all caps. They go traveling when they're at ports, but mostly spend their time on their phones, talking to each other and eating. So they're like, they have a job. For further information on crew members, I guess you could watch this evil pinely, the one that's on the screen right now. Now, you might remember Adita from earlier. I mentioned her at the start of this thing. As a fake host of a fake reality show, I know I probably shouldn't do this. But she's my favorite. She's my favorite one. I gotta say it. Anyways, pretty early on into this voyage, Adita landed herself into a sea of trouble. So this thing, which was later on dubbed as Pineapple Saga, or Pineapple Gate, or Pinely... Is there a joke I can do with my channel name? Not one that I can come off up with right now. This is live. This whole thing started off with our sailor doing what seemed to be a pretty normal room tour.
So this is my cabin on the World Cruise. It's cabin 8500, and it's an ultra spacious family. It's not a suite, it's an ultra spacious family room.
Now, you may or may not have noticed, but as Adita was filming this door, we saw this, a pineapple. Now, an upside down pineapple, especially in a setting like this, on a cruise ship, on a door, on the public for people to see, is somewhat known as a swinger thing. It's a thing of they put a pineapple upside down and it tells people, hey, I'm swinging here. Hey, I'm swinging here. Just a little pineapple upside down, swinging around. Anyways, a lot of people started speculating, and then Adita made this video.
Sorry to disappoint you, but we are not swingers. But we do like pineapples. Here's my pineapple ring. Ooh. Here's my pineapple necklace and earrings. And here's that infamous sign for my door.
She clarifies that the pineapple is in fact not upside down. It is rotated in the normal rotation for a pineapple to be. So, in fact, that was not her intention. She just likes pineapples. More about the cruise influencers, the ones that became influencers on the boat. There was a sushi making class that they all went to.
And I went to a sushi making class, which is really, really enjoyable. I'm not a big sushi person. I've never had sushi before. I don't really like seafood or rice. Two of the main things in sushi.
Which got me thinking, this cruise is really long. What do people even have to do over there? Well, first of all, we have the Beatles themselves coming straight from Liverpool. The cover band. Half the Beatles are dead, the real ones. Our sailors' wide array of entertainment also included juggling, a Taylor Swift watch party, and even a guest talent show. On December 27th, we're filling up another bingo card. Someone has a mental breakdown.
Your sacrifice will be written down in the history of the Ultimate World Cruise. I do think there have been too many sea days.
Then there was a chef tables thing that all the influencers were invited to, showing a little bit of an interest from Royal Caribbean in these people, which makes sense. I mean, they were giving them like millions and millions of views. Now, something that I was pretty fascinated with, I think more than other people, was these town halls that our cruisers were having. They became a town. They're like a town. They were a town for the time that they were on a boat. I guess that makes sense, you know? They're on a boat for 9 months. They become this sort of community. In the town hall meetings, they would discuss news, they would vote on things, they would have enrichment talks where they would tell the guests about the places they're visiting and give them some more info about those places. They're also given certain information like where to meet for the excursions, about the tenders, we'll talk about those later, and what to expect at the new places that they're going to. And these things are simply riveting.
You don't want to go out in single. If you're planning to stay on board, of course, you're more than welcome to do so.
That's not that interesting. Now, as the fake host of a fake reality show, I know I shouldn't do this. But let's catch up with Adita a little bit. She is my favorite here. She is my favorite on this cruise ship. What can I say? My researcher wrote here that this was the beginning of Adita's amazing outfit. And as we can see, this outfit is truly spectacular.
Tonight, I'm wearing my World Cruise dress. I wanted to show you all. It's very cool. Last night, we had Scandinavian dinner. And look at where Scandinavia is. Tonight, we are almost to Rio. And Rio is right about here.
January 1st of 2024, she posted this video joking about the whole swinging thing, saying that she's swinging into 2024. Now, this relates to one of our things in the bingo, and also something that a lot of you at home might be wondering. How can you even try and maintain a healthy and balanced lifestyle while being on this cruise ship with unlimited alcohol? For 9 months? That's too much alcohol, in my opinion.
I started off at 197, and now I'm about 207.
Hey, from the sea day seat, day 28.
I'll remember this day because it's the day that I realized that I need to slow it all the way down on this ship food. Don't want to be the size of the ship when I get off.
Now, obviously, gaining weight isn't on its own a clear indicator or a direct indicator for any problem in the health department, but it is a change that might be caused because of the attendance on this cruise ship. Now, January 2nd of 2024, I don't even know how I'm going to talk about this without crying. I know I'm supposed to be a professional as a fake host of a fake show, but I don't know how I'm going to hold my tears back. On January 2nd, 2024, disaster struck. Do a lightning sound effect as I'm doing the...
We finally have some drama.
We have drama for you. Are you ready?
You ready?
They're running out of wine.
Can you believe it?
What are they gonna do? There's no wine. There's less wine. And if that wasn't enough, after being tested by Dionysus, our brave sailors had to face a challenge designed by Poseidon himself, the god of sea and flood. They had a flood. A flood so mighty it would make Noah himself his biblical pants.
My room was one of the ones that did flood today. Most of the rooms in the ship were completely fine, but where my balcony was, there is an overhang, and the rain was coming in so heavy that it was hitting directly the window and coming down. It was all gathering in the rail at the bottom of the branch slider and then pulling over the top.
I think this definitely gives us another bingo thing, the weather mishap. I think that counts. January 3rd, they started taking care of this.
Carpet is completely dry. It does not smell at all. There's no stickiness. They are down to one fan, drying everything up.
And I'm so unbelievably relieved to say that the next day, the wine shortage catastrophe was also resolved.
They're adding some local wines to make up for a few that they're out of. Royal Caribbean is just doing an excellent job making up for that. And we wanted to let you know we're somehow surviving the lack of wine.
Passengers are happy again.
Everything is finally getting a little bit better. You know, the wine is back, the flood is over, people are being nicer to each other. We're catching up with the Dita again. I know I'm not supposed to have favorites. I'm a fake host of a fake reality show. This is totally unprofessional of me. But what can I say? We're catching up with the Dita again, ladies and gentlemen, and everything else. Here she is with the PowerPoint presentation flip again. People have started turning, this is horrible. People have started turning Adidas pineapples upside down.
I saved my chair for a little bit. I go get my breakfast, and when I come back, I find my pineapples upside down. Do you think I'm getting a reputation on this ship? People are turning my pineapples upside down whenever they see them.
But besides that, spirits were high right now, you know? We passed the flood, we passed the wine thing, and I think all of our brave sailors deserve a little bit of a celebration. Everything seemed really nice and relaxing. Everyone was having such a good time, all balanced as it should be, which, in a reality show, is usually the time that we throw another contestant into the mix. I present to you, Mark.
I'm going on the Ultimate World Cruise. 18 nights aboard the Serenade of the Seas. I'm going to Antarctica. I only own fashion jackets. A very unexpected and cool brand reached out to me and was like, you want to go on that cruise? And I was like, well, yes. I leave in 6 days.
Mark Sebastian was making videos about the cruise before he was on it. He's an influencer and a model. And on the 7th of January, he joined the cruise ship. In Mark's first video, he says that the other influencers on the ship, again, the ones that were sort of birthed in this cruise, were very nice to him.
Dr. Jenny Travels. She is so cool, amazing backstory, such a fun person to hang out with, funny, articulate. I would hang out with that girl even outside of this cruise.
Hello! This is Dr. Jenny Travels.
Another really cool person I met was Christian, who is Ultimate World Cruiser on here, and his lovely wife Liz, who saw me eating breakfast alone, invited me over.
With my wife and I,
Sure.
seated over there.
Yeah, I'll come sit there.
drag
No,
her
absolutely not. I'll come with you guys. They were so nice, so sweet. Talked to them about everything from their daughter to where they're living now. Liz is fabulous. Christian is so kind-hearted. Not enough good words to say about them.
But also Mark brought with him the spirit of the internet in a way. Things were beginning to shake up, and early on, he felt antagonized on some level.
I will be pressing charges against the person who decided, no, I'm not gonna put bottles of water inside of the rooms for guests to enjoy. Yesterday, I arrived to a empty mini fridge, not a bottle of water inside it. Call me crazy. But I do feel like for the price of the room, guests should be able to stay hydrated at their own convenience. I have a lot of clothes. I called to get extra hangers, and unfortunately, they brought me wire hangers. You're psychotic if you think I'm gonna put knitwear on a wire hanger? And lastly, the thing I'm sure you'll be most excited to hear about is that the people on this cruise ship continue to give me dirty looks everywhere I go because I have my phone on the gimbal, recording myself, because they've seen my videos. I promise I will give you that energy back tenfold.
Now, in my opinion, this is not to start any drama of my own, I'm just a mere host, but Mark is an influencer, he's a TikToker, so I do think that, he's kind of like part of the, he needs to create interesting content. I think because of that, some exaggerations happen. And that's let's keep going. In his next video, he reviews day 2 and 3. Yes, all the stuff from the last video that was just like day 1. That was just day 1, the whole coat hangers thing. And we get a few interesting updates about these days.
I will be pressing charges against whatever smartass at Royal Caribbean decided to see my video about the wire hangers and send plastic hangers to my door.
Sorry, I was told to give you these. Did you request?
If that was like a way to win me over, you should have also sent water bottles. But if that was a sly way of telling me that you're watching, well played. To whatever Pinnacle members were inside of the card room where I was interviewing Adita, who decided to audition for the role of my grandparents by scolding me for swearing, I would like to see you behind bars. Now they have aerialists flying through the thing and beaches.
You don't need to use the swear words, okay?
I think that it's fine.
This is a public area.
Oh, okay, well, I'm so sorry that you're offended by swear words.
I've seen too many.
Seen too many what?
Swear words.
Oh, well, I mean, I think I'm okay.
So just settle down.
Oh, okay, thank you. Don't tell me how to speak. Thank you very much. The first fabulous thing is the vlogger and blogger meetup that I went to this morning.
Welcome to the World Cruise!
I got to meet pretty much all the main characters of the cruise. They were all so cool. I wish that they were kind of meaner so I would have more drama with them, but honestly, early days, so who knows.
The next day, Mark makes a video where he gets annoyed that the crew is talking to him while he eats.
I personally don't want to have to greet every person that comes up to my table to ask me how I am. It's an eternal hell.
And in that video, he got this comment saying it's sad because these are grossly underpaid immigrants and are probably really working hard for tips and are trained that way.
Oh, 100%. I don't even need to look into it to know that these people are being underpaid.
So he responds to that thing with that video. And that video led to a third video about a woman saying, who lives on a different cruise ship, saying he knows nothing and that crew does get paid well.
Nothing frustrates me more is when someone gets on, knows nothing about the cruise industry, and then starts talking about how my former colleagues don't make money. Myth that they don't make a living wage. But of course, he's put on this cruise ship to create drama and tea. All for likes and for following.
Now we're gonna be back to Mark in a bit. I know that we have a lot of you Markinaniacs. I wrote that in my script, Markinaniacs. That's the best I could come up with. I know that we have a lot of you Markinaniacs at home, but we have to take a little bit of a break because we're now headed towards the terrifying Drake Passage.
The ship is handling the rough seas well, and the crew is making sure to keep us comfortable, safe, and entertained.
These winds are unlike anything I've stood in, and I've stood in multiple hurricane force winds.
Holy shit.
What at a plan, a body of water. Drake's Passage lay mighty weather afoot. Beware, my dear sailors, volcanic eruptions. Batten down the hatches, or your ship's kaput.
All right, so the Drake Passage. I feel like I'm giving a presentation in school, and I'm like 9, and I don't know a lot, but I do know some of this. I do know some of this because I looked it up. So it's this passage between Cape Horn and the Antarctic Peninsula. It has some of the strongest currents in the world of the ocean. There are a lot of videos of the Drake Passage, and it looks, I know I'm not supposed to swear, it looks terrifying. Looks, you can't with the ocean. You shouldn't with the ocean. The ocean's terrifying. Just a bunch of water. That's scary as shit, man. Can't imagine a scarier body of water than the Drake's Passage. Maybe something from ancient Greek mythology. So a lot of landlubbers at home were curious and worried about how the ship is gonna get through this.
Tomorrow, January 11th, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, the Royal Caribbean Ultimate World Cruise will be hitting the Drake Passage. They will be in the midst of it.
They've had to close all like non-essential doors and things like that, and their captain has said that this is only a small taste of what it's going to be like over the next few weeks. Like, it's going to be really, really bad.
The Serenade of the Seas prepares for the Drake Passage. Barf bags are put up everywhere. Decks were closed. Temperatures were about to reach freezing, so everyone was wrapping up warm. Their winds were already blowing mighty high. The ship begins to hit the Drake Passage. Waves are crashing over the helipad. Waves are up to deck 7, smashing into the windows. People are feeling sick to their bones. But then they crossed and it was fine. They were fine. They were all good. It was scary, but they were all good after that, so that's good. January 13th, in a Royal Caribbean Pinnacle group chat, remember the Pinnacles? Top of the list, coolest people around. Or mainly just the people who pay the most around. In their Facebook group chat, they start talking about Mark and how they don't like him very much. He sounds obnoxious. Anyone calling for blood, chaos, and throwing someone overboard needs to be escorted off the ship at the next board. That's referencing a video of his, I guess predicting what's gonna happen on the cruise ship. Hopefully he'll get himself booted at the first port. That's referencing an article talking about Marky Mark. And I hope they kick him off. The amount of pure lies he's spreading is terrible. I watched him the other night saying nobody could get water unless there were Pinnacle members. Funny, I'm on a cruise right now and only Emerald, and they gave us 4 bottles. Emerald is below Pinnacle. Those are pits or whatever. I think that's technically a pit. Mark responded to the whole Facebook group stuff.
If he really is there to cause drama, he needs to be escorted off. No one needs that on a ship. Honk shoe, what a bore, 2 out of 10, and your dog's ugly. Next is a 1 out of 10 for me. If he filmed me in any way, I'd sue the pants off of him. Bitch, you don't have a lawyer. Let's get that straight. This one's a 10 out of 10. Live and let live. Easy to avoid that drama. Walk on by. Finally, someone whose brain hasn't atrophied. Great job.
And a day later, posted an updated review of the cruise.
So the world cruisers that aren't Pinnacle members got their very own name tags made. You heard that correctly. The world cruisers got their own little badges made. Like, not Royal Caribbean sanctioned, but their own. Like, they went out of their way to get them custom made. I'm told it was to help figure out who was who and like everyone's names. But for me, it really does feel like they were just sort of undercutting the Pinnacle members. I will be pressing charges for the simple fact that the only irons or steaming devices that are available upon the ship are in the laundry room. And you know what's so funny? Is that the only people who have access to the laundry room are the people who are world cruisers, who are on here for all 9 months. So if I, a baby legger, wanted to have, I don't know, a t-shirt ironed because it's been in my suitcase for 2 weeks, I need to pay like $8 to get it ironed. I get it, the irons are fire hazards, you don't want the ships to go into flames, but then like, I don't know, like figure out a way to have things affordably pressed for people who are not on the whole 9-month cruise. But then again, you bitches didn't even put bottles of water into my room, so I feel like that's asking way too much. I was made aware of some sort of like town hall meeting for status members, those who are like Diamond Plus. In that meeting, they did Employee of the Month, which is amazing because each of the employees that won got $500. There were only 2 women nominated, and for the first time in history, they both won. They had a tie, except Royal Caribbean made them split the $500.
He also mentioned how a guy waited on the dock while everyone was walking back to the ship to make sure that everyone got to see the sea lions that were there. A goddamn hero, if you ask me.
It was the most heartwarming thing I've ever seen. He was standing there and just waiting for people to walk by so he could go, take a look over.
take a look, it's a surprise. And as you looked over the banister, there was just a group of sea lions.
Look at those sea lions. They're beautiful. Do you see these lions? They're beautiful. Now, January was a pretty busy month because this is also when we experienced, at least us as viewers for the first time, the tender chaos. Now, by tender, I don't mean chicken tender. No, I mean this thing, this boat. Tenders are basically these small boats that if you're on a bigger boat that can dock in certain places, you're gonna go on this smaller boat. And then you're gonna get there, and it's gonna be a blast.
You know what a tender is? I didn't. Basically, they don't dock the boat. You gotta get onto a little boat, and then that little boat goes to the dock. There was a bunch of schedule mishaps. Excursions got canceled. I need to see the king penguins. If I don't see the king penguins, I'm gonna be so upset.
We need to see penguins.
We need to see penguins.
They both wanted to see the penguins, which makes a lot of sense. Penguins are awesome. They're so cute. And eventually, chaos began to unfold.
We're reporting live from the tender line where drama is ensuing.
We've been here for an hour.
We've been here for an hour. I hope everyone knows that if someone tries to cut me, I'll punch them.
We formed
alliances.
alliances.
Right now. We formed alliances.
Alliances were formed. Mark was threatening people with physical violence.
You cut us, I'll cut you, but with like a knife.
They'll be using a knife.
Please do not yell at me.
Ooh, all right, we're not gonna have anyone yelling. It's not our fault that you didn't get here early enough, and that's how it is. What?
She came after me.
I was sitting next to her the whole time. I don't know why this is so difficult. What are you guys? You guys ever go to school? So after all that, we are not even going to the Falkland Islands because it's too rough outside. I hate it here.
Do you want the true drama of the 9-month cruise? It's the fact that every single tendered port so far has been cancelled last minute.
Now, a lot of people back home were speculating about the food that you get on this cruise food. And like, I saw some TikToks talking about the food on the cruise, and they're like showing like a picture of it, and they're like, oh, this is stale. You wouldn't catch me paying $60,000 to get this stale piece of shit food. I think it looks all right. This just looks like kind of what you get at a hotel buffet, a nice one at that, I'd say. They got donuts. It's pretty good, in my opinion.
First, of course, we always have some fresh fruits, and today also some canned peaches. Fresh melon, fresh grapefruit. There's also an omelet bar every morning, so people can be ordering omelets. Then there's all of the fresh donuts, chocolate sprinkles, sugar. They also have like different colored glazes in general. Fresh croissants, those are delicious. Then we have the topping bar for pancakes and waffles and French toast. Kids today had some of these chocolate pancakes.
Our cruisers also get to enjoy some theme nights based on the places that they stopped at. For example, this is Australia night.
Starting first with these amazing surf and turf bowls that have basically all the foods in one cereal bowl, including steak, mussels, shrimp, chicken, roasted veggies, and a garlic herb sauce.
Greek night.
Starting with these gyros, you could either make your own gyro or grab the ones that they already had stuffed into the pitas.
And they also have dinners where they get to enjoy sort of different meals every night. The general consensus about the food was... it was good. Seemed like people liked it. People at home watching the videos didn't like it as much as the people who ate it, but that's okay. On January 17th, Brandy uploaded a video highlighting a problem that she found on the cruise.
Thank y'all for all of your comments and just lighting up the fact that we need our hair done also on the ship because they've seen your comments and it's working out. So let me show you who's gonna make the magic happen today.
Hello, I'm Umara and I'm one of the male technicians on board, but I'm gonna do the magic for Miss Brandy this morning.
Y'all really don't know how happy I was. And I believe we made history being the first time to do black hair with extensions and braids on the cruise ship. Here I am, so fresh and so clean, new braids and all.
And on the same day, we were able to tick off another thing of the bingo. I love it every time we tick off something from the bingo thing. I feel so accomplished. Am I gonna win something off of this? Am I gonna get $1 million? Who's to say? Anyways, this one is for minor mystery to solve.
To whoever keeps leaving me ducks in secret, reveal yourself or I will be pressing charges. Someone put this next to a bottle of water when I walked away from my stuff once. Then this one was actually attached to the doorknob outside of my room.
Someone put a duck on my door.
Which means you know where I live. I don't know how I feel about that. But this one, I was in the Windjammer just reading, minding my own business, and I'm always on high alert in the Windjammer because we'll talk about it later. But I went to go get another slice of what they call pizza. And when I came back, this was on my book. So, what's going on?
Apparently, it's quite a common thing for people to leave rubber ducks around cruise ships. But Mark didn't know, and I didn't either. I gotta say, God bless Mark's soul, because since he joined this cruise ship, I've been taking off the things from the bingo card left and right. There's been so much kerfuffle. January 18th, talking about kerfuffle, Mark got kicked out of the Pinnacle Lounge. Now, I'm sure you remember the systems of hierarchy. The Pinnacles, they're the opposite. They're top of the barrel. Opposite of bottom of the barrel, they're the lid of the barrel. They're the point in which you connect a little one of those things, you know, with like a little flap thing that pours like something into your drink. They're that. Mark was sitting at the Pinnacle Lounge. They were doing a little book club. As you can see, she is a Pinnacle. She's wearing the pin. If we can have this camera on the screen, we can see the Pinnacle pin here. But Mark was just kind of invited to sit with them to do the book club. And suddenly, this happened. I'm gonna pull this up on the screen.
If you were in my book club, you may have seen me get kicked out of the Pinnacle Lounge. Hi.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
No, what are you doing? Don't worry.
I'm sorry to disturb you guys. I'm sorry, but unfortunately.
Oh, really?
I'm totally understand.
What if you just don't look? You know what I mean? You're just like, you're just sort of like, oh my god.
I'm sorry. I know you're very nice and Sabrina, amazing, but unfortunately, I cannot do this. I do apologize.
Okay. Not us getting kicked out of the concierge lounge. Okay, we'll do it. We're going.
So he got kicked out, and now he's saying, this is what he's saying happened. This is how he's saying that he got caught.
Now, to whomever was watching my live on land and decided to spend the $8 to call guest services on the ship and narc on me being in the lounge, despite me being a guest of someone, which resulted in security coming and escorting me out, solitary confinement. You're a f***ing bore.
So he's saying that what happened was that someone saw his Instagram live and was like, so ticked off by the fact that this guy, this non-Pinnacle, is sitting at the Pinnacle Lounge. He called from land to sea, to the cruise ship, to be like, kick this guy out. Now, I'll tell you what. I believe this wholeheartedly. I even made a video on my second channel talking about this situation. He's getting kicked out. They've been targeting him ever since he made that video about coat hangers. And now he's getting kicked out of the Pinnacle Lounge. And guess what? I was played like a goddamn game of Monopoly. And I'd say a lot of people were as well. That original video had 300,000 likes, I don't know, a few million views. Now, like a day or two ago, at the time of me recording this is a fresh update. Thank God I have this amazing researcher that kept following this sort of situation even after it was done. 2 days ago, Mark posts this video. Since TikTok is ending, there's one more secret I feel I have to share with you. Let's see what's the secret, Mark.
Since we're all gonna die, there's one more secret I feel I have to share with you. I did not care for the Godfather.
I was the one who made the call to get me kicked out of the Pinnacle Lounge on the 9-month cruise. I know I'm supposed to be a fake host of a fake show and I'm supposed to be all calm and collected, but guess what? I don't like being lied to. Now, the thing is, the sort of conundrum that I'm at right now is, what if this is the lie? What if the situation did happen and he was like, oh, this is maybe like a conspiracy theory that a lot of people had. Wouldn't it be funny if I just say now that I called on myself? You know? So This is just the nature of my life. I don't know anything, and I feel so confused by it all. As a result of this situation of Mark snitching on himself, according to what he says now, do I know anymore at this point? Mark gets called to what is basically the cruise ship's principal office.
I just got back from guest services. They brought me into guest services to yell at me for being in the lounge yesterday and for getting kicked out, and then wanted to extend an apology. I put a bottle of water in my room. These people are insane right now. They wanted to extend an apology for the person who kicked me out. They were like, hey, you can't do that. But also, we're sorry that the guy kicked you out. That's like literally what they said. I was scared. I was like, oh, this is it. They're kicking me out the ship.
Anyways, I think it's safe to say that Mark's presence on the cruise ship, while controversial, especially to the outside world, definitely brought a lot more attention to it, because this man right here is a professional. I think this cruise ship and Mark himself is a great sort of example to how attention works online. I'd go as far as to say that his presence on the cruise is part of what started giving this thing some mainstream attention. I mean, here we go. This is an article by Vox about the 9-month cruise. And also, a little bit after that, we get to do another bingo. Bingo! Woohoo! Or maybe I shouldn't. Oh, I didn't even no. I didn't read what the bingo thing was on the screen before I started to do my whole bingo dance. It's coronavirus outbreak. A lot of people were predicting that there would be a COVID out, and there was. Not a huge one, but yeah, a few people got COVID. I'm not celebrating that with my dance that I did.
Hey y'all, so I've got a little bit of an announcement to make. I am in isolation for the next 5 days because I have unfortunately caught COVID.
I'm retracting my dance. Can we do that can I retract my dance? And now we have to say goodbye to someone who has definitely left a bit of a mark on the cruise ship. It's Mark. I don't think I came up with that joke. I think someone else did from the video that we're gonna mention. It seemed like Mark did leave a mark on people. Just double down on that. And yeah, a bunch of his friends on the cruise decided to make a goodbye video for him.
Hey Mark, what a blast it's been to have you on board. Gonna miss you, brother.
Thank you so much for everything, Mark. And yeah, congrats on getting off. And I hope you have a fantastic time ashore.
Marky Mark, gonna miss you around here. You definitely made a splash on the world cruise.
Thanks so much for being here with us and giving us so much great insight, and also saying the things that we wanted to say, but you said them with so much more flair.
Thank you, Mark. You've definitely made this cruise a whole lot more interesting. You've left your mark on me. Mark, being the thoughtful man that he is, left a little scavenger hunt for his friends to go through.
So I get a message from Mark Sebastian with he wants me to go on a little scavenger hunt. His little message reads, behind the corner of a picture of propellers next to a machine version of a bank teller. So he says he left me something there. And I'm clueless. Where is this place?
Not to worry though, because on the very same day, it appears another influencer joined the cruise ship. Say hi to Christian Hall. I'm gonna have to put this video on the big screen as well because it's hilarious. Now, Christian said in his video that he got the room number that he's going to be staying at.
Just been sent my room number for my 16 days on the Ultimate World Cruise. So I got sent my room number. It's a balcony room. It's on deck 7. Now I went to a deck 7 plan and I was like, please be in like the back corner where I can like sneak in, sneak away, like do my little missions and like run and hide and like be out of the way of everybody.
And I love this comment from him because what secret missions? Are you gonna like go around like stealing things? What's your game plan? What do you need to sneak in, sneak out for? It's just a cruise ship. Like, people just go on it and they drink a lot and then they go to like a country for a few hours. And that's what are you gonna sneak around?
My room, my room is lit. Anyone can, like, my room could not be more monitored by staff. So there's no sneaking. I cannot do any sneaking.
No sneaking. He can't do any sneaking.
Anyone can see the front door of my room. And I have a feeling Royal Caribbean have done that on purpose.
They've done it on purpose. They've done it on purpose. So they could monitor him. Because he's gonna do what? Sink the boat? Is he gonna sink the boat?
They're like, let's look for Christian Hull's booking. Okay, let's put him in a room where we can keep a close watch on him at all times. And that is what they have done. But inadvertently, I would like to say, it's actually working in my favour because I've bought a magnetic whiteboard to stick on my door, of which people will be able to write messages on the whiteboard. So, ergo, every passenger on that cruise ship is going to, at some point, walk past my room and see my message board.
It's not inadvertently. Royal Caribbean's wide network of spies have infiltrated your household, Christian Hull, and they found out in advance that you were going to do sneaking around, but they also knew that you bought a whiteboard and that you're going to use it. Royal Caribbean cares about your experience, and that's the only thing that they use spies for. Then from this section of the cruise, I'd say something that kind of defined it is constant cancellations of trips to various locations. The trip to Machu Picchu got canceled. Apparently demonstrators were blocking railway lines, so trains couldn't take people to Machu Picchu.
So now, we're not going to Machu Picchu. The seventh wonder of the world is trying to just escape me.
People were quite upset because it's considered one of the 7 wonders. And if you remember from the beginning of this, that was like a pretty big part of the advertising. The Ecuador port stop also got cancelled.
Well, look what we just received in our stateroom tonight. A little letter notifying us that another port has been cancelled. Manta, Ecuador.
On February, Lil Rat Brain, the cruiser with the best user name, brought up something that made her feel pretty anxious. Some pretty bad behavior going on the cruise.
Honestly, I haven't seen a lot of bad behavior on this ship, but the bad behavior that I've seen is intense. Some people have been here for 25 years and they're just doing your job and you're on vacation. So I don't know why you're acting like this, okay? And then I'm looking at you and you are a grown adult. You are not a kid. So I don't know, because you should know better. You should be able to walk around with human decency, alright? You should not be acting like this.
And then later on in the same month, we sadly say goodbye to another cruiser. Nadine, who was one of the first to criticize the Pinnacle culture on the cruise. She states that the Ultimate World Cruise made her feel glad, sad, and mad. All things that rhyme, which I guess reflects on quite a whimsical experience, perhaps.
I didn't expect to get as close with people as I have. I've got friends for life. The people who are on this cruise, so many are like me, think like me, and have that travelling mindset, and just so interesting. Everyone's had wonderful, interesting stories. The crew on board the Serenade, I think you have picked the best of the best, and almost every interaction with on-board crew has been outstanding. But what makes me sad? Well, this is probably more a message for Royal. I've tried a couple of times to give you feedback. And the first time I tried to give you feedback, I was told, Head Office only cares about the world cruises. You're not what they're looking for.
She also stated that there was an incident where a Pinnacle member physically assaulted another guest, and nothing really happened with that.
But finally, I'm going to tell you about why I'm mad. And when I say I'm mad, I am pissed off, because I signed a contract to say that I would not abuse other guests, but yet you still have a Pinnacle person in a suite who physically assaulted another guest, but you're not acting on it. And you say you're not acting on it because it happened ashore, but it happened ashore on a Royal Caribbean
excursion, and any other time you would act on it, but because this person is Pinnacle and in a suite, you're letting them get away with not only bullying and harassing a family of kids and chasing them around for a whole entire day, and this has been going on not just on that excursion day for weeks, but when someone stood up to him and told him he was being a bully and proceeded to tell him he needed to stop, he then pushed her so much so that she damaged her ankle and sprained it. And you know about all of this because there were 20 witnesses to it. You've interviewed everyone, and your action to do this is to do nothing.
Which, I'm sad that that happened, but I'd say technically counts as another thing for the bingo. Fist fight. This sort of counts as fist fight. I don't know if they did use a fist, but I'm counting it, and you can take me to court on that, baby. February 17th, our cruisers are facing an itinerary change and are ending up going to Africa. Royal Caribbean gave our world cruisers 2 options to choose from. The first one would be the scenic route in Africa, getting to, I guess, soak in more port stops across the continent. And the second one would be a quicker, shorter trip to Africa, and then spending more time in Greece and on sea.
And here's the interesting part. They've offered up 2 itineraries, and they're letting passengers vote on which they'd like to do. Never before has Royal Caribbean allowed passengers the ability to vote on the route their ship is going to take.
This caused a bit of a divide on the cruise because people were supposed to vote for the option that they wanted. And so they started campaigning for which option they thought was best. Here you can see her with a tag that says "1" on it.
I was on a live with Brandy earlier today, and I told her that I would show how I altered my badge to campaign for option 1. And here's my little sign that I put outside my stateroom. So that was my little bit of campaigning that I did.
Eventually, election day came. Everyone was excited. Turnout was really good for this year, and later on, the results were announced. They were gonna do the more immersive option.
Just received word that it is option 1. Immersive Africa, here we come.
February gave us another situation that was predicted by people. As the influencers on the cruise ships started growing their following, they also managed to get themselves a neat little Hulu sponsorship.
Death and Other Details is a murder mystery drama television series that is streaming on Hulu.
You know what they say, you can't watch Pinely videos early on Hulu. Only on Nebula. Now I'm a Nebula guy now. I need to show loyalty to Nebula. This takes off another bingo thing. Bingo, baby. We haven't hit the bingo yet, but look at how many we're getting so far. So many predictions actually happened. I'm excited because even though I wasn't told what I'm getting for the bingo, my guess is that it's $1 million. I think I'm gonna get $1 million if I get this bingo. That's my guess, and every thing that happens here gets me closer to my $1 million. I'm gonna have to get my bingo card off my dead corpse to get my $1 million, you goddamn sons of bitches. From here on out though, things started to kind of slow down in terms of the drama that we got in the videos. The things that we're gonna follow from here on out are still as big as all the other segments, but you're gonna see there's gonna be a bit more of a gap between the events now, which, you know, this is also the point where public interest in the cruise started to slow down a bit. It's almost as if some of the dramas that we see on this cruise ship are manufactured over there. And I think that's what I kind of truly mean by a self-documented reality show. The more these people were on the cruise expected to output some videos, the more they might have gotten themselves involved in reality show sort of scenarios. Anyways, that said, right after this, we had another really rough sea passage. They all passed that safely, and then on March 11th, Christian Hull finally joins the ship. And I'll be honest, he does do the exaggerating thing. But that said, I really enjoy his presence on this cruise ship.
I just had to excuse myself because It's pretty rocky and I think I'm going to throw up. Oh, shit. How do I get back to my room? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, shit. Oh my god. I feel so sick. These aren't helping. I had 2 bites of dinner and dinner was so delicious.
And without even having 24 hours to get used to his new setting, Christian gets himself involved in the new tender chaos situation. Now, Christian, you know, he sat at home as a landlubber. He saw Mark go through the first tender chaos of the 9-month world cruise.
I'll cut you, but with like a knife.
And so he came prepared.
I'm ready for the day of drama-filled fistfights. You ready for fistfights? I'm wanting a fistfight. I think there's going to be a fistfight. Do you remember when Mark did this and there was a physical altercation? Well, I came prepared. I brought this person shield. Stay away. Let's have a look at your tender ticket. Yeah, it's my tender ticket now, you slut. It looks like the first tender's already arriving, so I'm gonna run down and just watch the drama. I'm so excited. There better be. I want fistfights. For sakes, guys, I've got TikTok views to get. I was gonna push a lady into another lady.
He expected to be drama. He expected there to be a need for a middle finger umbrella. Can we show this? Can we show this? It's on TV. Oh, it's still just my YouTube video. Okay, yeah, we can show this middle finger. It's fine. And well, he got to this situation and
the process is pretty good. I was expecting a lot more chaos. I was expecting a fist fight. I wanted a fist fight. Why did I want a fist fight? In conclusion, I wanted old women to push other old women off their walking frames, but instead I was met with kindness and generosity, and I got given a very, very good tender ticket.
And this time it was just organized. It seemed like it was all right. I think they figured it out. Yeah, I mean, they're a big company. They should figure it out. At the 100-day mark, our cruisers had a fun little celebration. And then after that, after having a cruise that has birthed the careers of multiple influencers, after influencers came on the cruise ship themselves, it seems like Royal Caribbean caught on to the power of that, because then they released this call out: join the 9-month cruise, Ultimate World Cruise. Ever dreamt of embarking on the Ultimate World Cruise? Turn that dream into reality with Royal Caribbean. With 1 billion views and counting, we're on the... Oh. Okay, well, it gets cut off here. I was really kind of getting it going with the sort of announcer voice, but then the page cut off. I guess I'll just jump to the next one. Ever wondered what's it like to wake up in a new country every day? Who are the people behind the scenes making this epic journey possible? And is living aboard this ship like being part of a reality TV show? It's like they're watching me right now with their network of spies. We're seeking creators with engaged audiences and a strong passion for fitness, fashion, or food. If you fit the bill, get ready for the adventure of a lifetime. Pack your bags because we're sending you and a guest on a 16-night adventure from these dates. Brace yourself for an all-expenses paid, whatever the f***. Seems like this is seems like a pretty fun deal. Get $2,000 and they pay for the cruise itself, and you need to just post like 7 TikToks or whatever. Pretty good going, I think. That said, it seems like our onboard influencers weren't huge fans of this concept.
On board right now, there are at least 30 content creators who have paid for a ticket to be here, who are cruising the world, who are documenting their experience, and they are doing, might I say, a great job of it. They are the reason that this cruise went viral.
I feel like we were heard, and I can say that Royal Caribbean sent a personal message directly to me. And so for that, I say thank you. I also know that what was on the creator marketplace that has since been deleted. So I do know that much, and that feels better. Royal Caribbean, thank you.
And yeah, Royal Caribbean ended up taking this post down. I'll be honest, I wanted to do this. But when I found out about this post, it was too late. So that was kind of upsetting. Oh well. I think while I do feel good about my role as a host, it would have been nice to sail the seven seas, to look at some of the world wonders, and to join the world's sexiest man competition.
And my new boo, the winner, I serve you the world's sexiest man.
It seemed like Christian got along really well with the other influencers on the cruise. Really well. Really well. And then on March 29th, Christian left the cruise. Wow. It seemed like he really left, I can't do the left a mark thing again. That would be idiotic. It seemed like Christian is really at the Hall of Fame of this cruise ship. That was pretty good. So I'm giving myself 5 points for that. And I'm giving myself another thing on the bingo card. Oh, ship tech problems. I feel horrible every time I'm cheering on something from this bingo card. Like, people mainly predicted horrible things, mass STIs. Yeah, like, you're really like sort of bringing that energy onto the universe, huh? So the ship apparently suddenly stopped, and like people could see smoke. So that's bad.
So we're dead in the water, quite literally. We are not moving. As you can see, I'm not currently in my room, but we have just stopped. There was a weird little shuttle, and here's another little shuttle. Then you looked out the window, nothing. So there hasn't been an announcement yet. Why are we stopped?
This thankfully eventually got resolved, but then later we got another bingo thing. Ba-boom! Someone got left behind. I'm getting $1 million.
Well, I have nobody but to blame but myself. Family, I can't believe this! Oh my God. Oh my God.
So yeah, Anthony just didn't make it to the call time for the ship. Just fucking missed it. Crazy that could happen. I never thought about that, what happens. But then I looked it up. Apparently, they just need to go to the next place the cruise stops at if they want to get back on it. Well, I think our cruisers have gone through quite a bit. And maybe it's time for a bit of a celebration, eh? Because we just reached the halfway point. In April 27th, our cruisers, or what's left of them, that sounds like they got eaten by sharks. They didn't. Just some of them have left the cruise. It's a long cruise. Had a big, huge halfway party together.
We got each other, and that's a lot for love. Oh! We're halfway there. Wow! Living on the prayer.
I just want to touch on one of the realities of traveling in this way. Something I'm struggling with a lot. This is so amazing. We're here at our next destination, Dubai. We have more to go before we rejoin the ship. But I am still stuck on the last country we visited in my mind, India. It's so wild because I feel like I still haven't processed India.
Fire on the cruise ship. How can there be fire on a place that's surrounded by water? I don't know. But in this case, it was started by someone who plugged in a fan in the wrong outlet. Apparently it wasn't that big of a deal and the fire brigade extinguished it. I don't care because I just got another bingo thing. Podcast following the trip. I'd say this is like the least surprising one, you know? People starting a podcast. Everyone's got a podcast nowadays. It's a shock that I don't have one yet. As an influencer, I'd say that constantly your fingers hovering around the make a podcast button to this day. Still have chosen not to press it yet, but it might happen. I'm not saying that it won't happen. The podcast is called Put It On The Agenda. It's on Spotify and Apple. They did 7 episodes in total, including a reunion one. Can we hear, Graham, who's editing this section, can you play a little bit of the podcast and just show it to people?
And I'm just trying to think like what is like also just very memorable about wine. Yeah, oh god, I forgot about Peru.
Wow, fascinating stuff. On June 16th, it seemed like the winds of the ocean weren't the only things that were, there was also winds of love. My brain is like, it's hard, you know? It's hard to be this sort of role model, this sort of reality show role model for billions of people, you know? I'm carrying this weight on my back. It's hard. It's so hard. Anyways, this couple had a remarriage. They renewed their vows. It was so cute after 61 years of being together.
Kidding. Phyllis Barbara Goodman, do the honor to remarry me for the second. She's crying. Now I have a favor to ask of you. I noticed when the seas get rough, you put white bags by the stairwell.
Yes.
Would you please put the white bags by the stairwell? This is my honeymoon night. And
which is really exciting to them, but some would say even more exciting for me because I got another bingo thing. Bingo, bingo. A wedding. This counts as a wedding. They renewed their vows. They had a wedding. I count it. Suck it. As we were sailing closer and closer towards the end of this cruise, it seemed like one of the more prominent predictions from before this started began coming into fruition. This was people were getting tired.
So I haven't been posting in a long time, and there's a good reason for that. We are in a new port every single day now for the next month and a half or 2 months. So every day, every morning, we wake up in a different country, in a different port, and it's just exhausting.
I'm exhausted. Mentally, probably more mentally than anything. So realities of traveling, it's awesome, but it also is tiring.
July 7th, ND joins the cruise. This is a third outside influencer joining the current influencer ecosystem.
Seeing everyone in person, it's crazy to me. I'm trying to process it still. Like, wow, you were on my phone screen, now you're in my face. That's wild.
This begs the question, why did I not go on the cruise? I get sponsors. Why did I not go on the cruise? The answer is I was going to. And I'm really sad that I didn't. There was just, this video was like delayed a bunch of times. It was supposed to originally be with a different sponsor. And then, then I just ended up, things got delayed. And not of the fault of anyone, it's just normal contract making stuff. And and then at the point where we did sort of seal it off and sell everything, the only tickets that were left on the cruise were for like some of the most expensive rooms, and that would be insane. I can't afford that. But, you know, I'm sorry. July 11th, a baby is born, which is very exciting for the baby. To all of those who were aboard Serenade for the American segment, first world cruise baby born July 11th. That's right, she traveled with us through the American segment, as I had just found out I was pregnant before boarding in Miami. We even rocked Drake's Passage without much seasickness. So yeah, she was pregnant on the ship. I'm gonna hold my excitement a little bit because this sort of, I don't know if it fully counts, knocked up or gives birth because she found out that she was pregnant in Miami before boarding, and she left the cruise to do the birth. So she didn't really get knocked up or give a birth. So I'm not gonna count this one. People be pissed if I do, won't they? Okay, I'm not counting this one. Then MD, even though she just got on the cruise, she already quite got tired from this sort of lifestyle of visiting that many places.
When I tell you we've been going nonstop since I've been on this ship, port after port after port after port. And don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying myself at each port, right? But y'all, I haven't really rested properly. And it's so funny because while I was reporting the cruise, I used to talk mess about sea days. Like, why would you have a sea day when you can go to all these ports? I didn't know better. I didn't know what I was talking about.
And later that month, World Cruise Cheap ended up going early. Now, we ended up having to delete a lot of his videos from this sort of thing, just because I think he either deleted his account or deleted a lot of his videos. So we just don't have them. So he sort of erased himself from the history books, I guess. From the incredibly important history book that is my YouTube channel. He ended up deleting himself from that. But that said, this counts as a bingo. Not a full bingo. It's just another thing that they had on the list. Someone goes home early. He ended up going early because someone stole his phone.
I'm exhausted, and now we're at a stretch of 18 port days back to back.
I don't think y'all get it. It's like working 18 days straight without a weekend. We are seeing amazing things, and this is a trip of a lifetime, but it's tiring.
The next month was marked by a series of problems and cancellations for the Serenade of the Seas. In August, the cruise got blocked in Amsterdam by demonstrators protesting the cruise itself due to the massive environmental impact that cruises possess. Then later on in August, on their way to Iceland, our brave cruisers had to sail through some really rough seas.
Last night was the worst night of the past 9 months. We had incredibly rough seas to the point that we were delayed 2 hours coming into Reykjavik. But we also had what we thought was a low pressure system, but was actually a Category 1 hurricane with up to 30 feet waves.
And if that wasn't enough, they had to deal with a volcano eruption. I know I'm not supposed to swear, I'm a fake host of a fake, but
Royal Caribbean had canceled all their excursions to the Blue Lagoon because they had gotten word that the volcano nearby was very active and could erupt at any moment. And they gave us instructions on what to do if it was erupted and how to evacuate and all that. Well, guess what, people? The volcano just erupted. Just like 3 hours after we were there. Oh my gosh, I am freaked out. I just hope everyone is safe. We have friends from the ship that are there now and are being evacuated, and so far they're posting and they're saying that they're okay, but so scary.
We're now really getting towards the tail end of this thing here. Royal Caribbean decided to gather everyone around for some pretty exciting news.
And the answer is yes, we are going to do another ultimate world cruise. The next part of the question is, well, when the hell is that ultimate world cruise? Tuesday. We're not entirely sure yet. We're still working our way through it. But we're announcing today that we are going to hold a Ultimate World Cruise reunion cruise. Alright. And when we have the reunion cruise, we are going to announce the next World Cruise. And when we announce the next World Cruise on the reunion cruise, we will only open it for sale for those people who are on the reunion cruise. So,
an amazing gambit by Royal Caribbean. To book the Ultimate World Cruise early, you need to go to a f***ing reunion cruise first. What a play, what a goddamn move. But it seems like all the influencers were really excited about this idea.
I mean, it worked for him, maybe it could work for us.
Put me on the cruise, I'll go. Put me on the cruise, I'll go.
And now, believe it or not, we've reached the very last day on the ship.
I would 100% do it all over again for all of you that have been asking that. Because it's just been truly the adventure of a lifetime. As you know, they announced they're gonna do another world cruise, but I don't think it will ever be as long and as grand as this world cruise. So I really truly feel that this was the adventure of a lifetime.
Everybody together then. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And then the cruise came to an end. Months of friendships, fights, a baby was birthed, a volcano was erupted. They all sailed bravely through that and then some. When they arrived to Miami on the 10th of September, a big party waited for them. Can you imagine, after 9 months of parties, you land and you see another party, I'd vomit on the spot.
And that's a wrap on the ultimate world cruise. We went all out all weekend celebrating the last leg of this 9-month adventure. But most importantly, we all came together to celebrate this once-in-a-lifetime journey on board Serenade of the Seas. Welcome home and congrats on an epic voyage.
After that, our cruisers either went to a hotel or just went straight home, back into the real world. Now, adjusting back to reality, after this weird, bizarre way of living for 9 months, was not easy for some. You're trading the distinct scent of the ocean sea with the scent of, I don't know, like dirt, or just like how a room smells.
Okay guys, I'm almost unpacked. There's 2 more suitcases that are still coming. Everything is out of suitcases, just about. But I need help, guys.
Luckily though, in this epilogue segment, we also got to tick off another bingo thing.
So if I'm on a 7-day cruise, I will gain like about 8 pounds, and then within a week you lose most of it because it's water weight. Well, on a 9-month cruise, I gained like 40 pounds.
What had been the biggest shock for me was the attempt to go grocery shopping. I say attempt because I lasted 12 minutes in the grocery store. That doesn't even get me out of the produce section. I was so used to having someone give me options, and the options were limited, but they were good options. So in the dining room on the ship, I had a menu. And if I look at the menu, these are the options that I got to choose from.
My 9-month vacation is finally over, and honestly, I'm transitioning back into real life super smoothly. Nothing has gone wrong at all, and honestly, it's been... I'm sorry, it's reality calling. 1 second. I don't want to talk to you. You're not in my life anymore, okay? I don't want to talk to you. I'm so sorry. You know, exes, they always want to call. They always want to tell their version of the truth.
And now, I'm so excited to say it. I'm so excited to say it. I'm so excited to say it. Folks, we have a bingo! B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O. I got a motherfucking bingo. $1 million bingo right here, right now. Next big travel creators made. I think that applies to like 10 people that were on the boat. They all got like 100,000 followers. And some of them get good views on the videos now that have nothing to do with the 9-month cruise. This fucking counts. I got a fucking bingo. Boom. Suck it. Bingo, 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 bingo. Boop-a-doop-ba-ba-ba-doop-ba-ba. Now, jokes aside. Did I actually win anything? Well, I think I learned a big lesson about, I don't know, how we work when we have a camera in front of us, about the friendships that you can make in a confined amount of time, about communities, about cliques. There's something quite fascinating about following people for this amount of time, you know? Every mundane story can become a huge deal when you post it on TikTok from the way that you tell it. I on some level wonder about the future of reality shows when we kind of have this. There was something that felt pretty fascinating about following each account, almost like you're there with them, you know? And so, to honor my 9-month-long experience more so with this topic, I decided that it was time for me to serenade the Serenade of the Seas.
Gather round and all hear an idea birthed in lockdown. For 9 months they'd sail, all land and all seas. Landlubbers caught wind that a storm was a-brewin'. Remortgaged our houses, it's too late for me.
For 9 months we sailed, we loved and we suffered. The pour and the pinnacles, one and the same. The grog in our veins was flowing aplenty, for we are the babies of this pregnancy.
Rich cast of sailors, mostly pensionaries, but tick-tockers, big-talkers, families too. For your entertainment we argue and grovel. Old lady cruise ship will serenade the sea.
For 9 months we sailed, we loved and we suffered. The pour and the pinnacles, one and the same. The grog in our veins was flowing aplenty, for we are the babies of this pregnancy.
For bitterness the fruits, the elusive pineapple, the signal misread, as swing and a miss. The lady just loved her sweet SpongeBob Squares shelter, a jolly mistake for our found family.
For 9 months we sailed, we loved and we suffered. The pour and the pinnacles, one and the same. The grog in our veins was flowing aplenty, for we are the babies of this pregnancy.
God had a plan, a body of water. Drake's passage lay mighty weather afoot. Beware, my dear sailors, volcanic eruptions. Batten down the hatches or your ship's kaput.
For 9 months we sailed, we loved and we suffered. The pour and the pinnacles, one and the same. The grog in our veins was flowing aplenty, for we are the babies of this pregnancy.
That's right, I made a sea shanty. This video took me a year to make. You see, this year, I'm really going for it. I want to make just some really cool stuff for you guys. And that's why I've decided to partner up with Nebula. Nebula is an exciting, creator-owned streaming platform that specializes in thoughtful content. I went out of my way to contact them because I wanted to work with them. Have you ever wondered, Pinnacle, how do you do the sea shanty that you just did? Well, as a Nebula partner, I decided to start a series called Pinnacle post-game interviews. In this first episode, you're gonna get to see me talk to my researcher Maya about the process of tackling a video such as this, a monster of a video, and also behind the scenes footage of Jono and I making the sea shanty. Spoiler alert, he did most of the impressive stuff. Nebula is the home of exclusive content of some of your favorite creators. Lindsay Ellis has almost exclusively been posting her projects on Nebula for the last 5 years, and Nebula has also been producing some exclusive content of their own, which I've been finding fascinating. Night of the Coconut, for example, which I loved. That was a blast. And if I'm honest, I want to do stuff like that over there one day too. So if you want to watch this video's companion video, head to Nebula using my link in the description, and you're going to get 40% off your first year with Nebula. That's only $36 for an entire year, or $3 a month. Thank you, Nebula, for sponsoring this video. And guys, please subscribe. This video took it was so much work.